Well, this is the kidney, okay? The outer layer, or the outer layer of the kidney, is called the renal capsule, all right? Now, if we take a cross section of the kidney, do you see these triangular regions here? Is that a yes?
Yes.
Okay, these are called the renal pyramids. The renal pyramids. Adjacent to the renal pyramids are the renal columns. Okay? The outer layer is called the renal cortex, and then the inner layer is called the renal medulla. The renal medulla. Okay? Now, if we take one pyramid and two columns plus the renal cortex, we get one renal lobe. One renal lobe. Got it? The tip of the renal lobe is called the renal papilla. The renal papilla. Now, this right here, 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 and this right here, these are called the minor calyx. C-A-L-Y-X, calyx. Now, if we take 3 or 4 minor calyces, we get this region right here, which is the major calyx. The major calyx, okay? Everything empties into this structure right here, and that's known as the ureter. This is the ureter. Now, very important is the vasculature, or the arteries that feed into the kidney. This big one is the renal artery. That's followed by the segmental artery. Then the ones that are between the lobes are known as the interlobular arteries. And then do you see this artery that looks like an arc? Makes a circular motion here. That's the arcuate artery, okay? Then do you see these tiny little arteries that are in the renal cortex? Yes?
Yes.
Okay, those used to be called the interlobar arteries, but in your book, they're called the caudate radiate arteries. Somebody double check that, okay? Cortical radiate arteries, okay? So those are the arteries for the kidney. Now let's take one lobe and blow it up, and we get this model right here, okay? So this is one lobe of the kidney. Renal cortex, renal medulla, okay? Each one of these tubules is known as a nephron, okay? The circular parts are called the renal corpuscle, and the renal corpuscle is made up of 2 parts, the glomerulus and Bowman's capsule, okay? Now, if we take a closer look at the tubules, the tubule that is attached to the renal corpuscle is the proximal convoluted tubule. Then it goes down and up, and this is called the loop of Henle, H-E-N-L-E. Not the nephron loop like your book says. Lexi, did you hear me? Okay, don't go by the book on this one. It's called the loop of Henle. So from the proximal tubule, we have the descending limb of the loop of Henle. And you have to say the whole term, okay? Then it goes down, then it drives up, and this would be the ascending limb of the loop of Henle. Then attached to the ascending limb is the distal convoluted tubule, okay? Then the distal convoluted tubule feeds into this big one right here, which is the collecting duct, okay? Take a look at it on this nephron, then this would be the distal convoluted tubule. This would be the descending limb of the loop of Henle. This is the ascending limb of the loop of Henle. And then this is the distal convoluted tubule. Now, everything that gets reabsorbed by the nephrons and gets sent back into the general circulation, it's done so by this vessel right here, which is known as the vasa recta. The vasa recta. You got this? Okay, now we're going to take one renal corpuscle and blow it up, and then we get this model here, okay? So this is a renal corpuscle made up of these guys, this capillary bed known as the glomerulus, and then the cup is known as Bowman's capsule, okay? This vessel on the left is the afferent arteriole. The one on the right is the efferent arteriole, okay? Coming up towards you is the distal convoluted tubule. The cells that line the distal convoluted tubule are known as the macula densa cells. The macula densa cells. Got it? Yes? Okay. Now, for the female model, make sure you can distinguish between this guy and this guy. This here is the uterus. We don't care about that until like next week, okay? This is the bladder, and then this would be the urethra. Bladder, urethra. Got it? On the male model, this is the bladder, and then if you remove the penis, just a second here. I'm divorced. I haven't handled one of these in a very long time. Jesus Christ, my God. There. This right in the middle would be the urethra. Bladder, urethra. Got it? Do we know what we're doing today?